NASA just released information on September 10th saying that they found what looks like evidence of life on Mars. They admitted that they have been studying this rock for over a year, and after all that time, they now say they can't find any other explanation for what it could be. In other words, this could be the clearest sign yet of ancient life. So they're doubling down. Now, I just want to stop right here and point out the timing. Again, September. Those of you who follow prophecy know that September is a huge prophetic watch month. Feast days, signs in the heavens, alignments, historic world events, so many big things have happened in September, and now we're seeing this narrative surface again. Just 2 weeks shy of the Feast of Trumpets. And notice the pattern. First, they give a soft launch of what they are calling themselves a firmament-like structure into space. Then we get an official UFO hearing where they've admitted publicly that there are aliens in the ocean and that they've been studying non-human craft. And now, all of a sudden, we're being told about life on Mars. This narrative is being pushed very, very hard right on time. But as Bible-believing people, your alarm bells should absolutely be going off right now because we need to recognize what's really happening. Let's look at Mars itself because this is more than just science. It's always more than just science. Mars has always been connected with false worship and idolatry. In Rome, Mars was one of the most important gods. He was the god of war, the father of Romulus, the mythical founder of Rome. Soldiers and generals offered sacrifices to Mars before battle, asking for victory through bloodshed. Rome literally built temples to him. In Greece, he was known as Ares. He was violent, chaotic, and hated, even by other gods. But he was worshipped still through rituals tied to battle and blood. The Greeks feared him and honored him because of his destructive nature. In Babylon and Mesopotamia, Mars was tracked as the star of their god, the god of war and plague, the bringer of destruction. Ancient stargazers believed Mars was an omen. Its red glow was tied to blood, death, and judgment. In Egypt, Mars was connected with Horus the Red, a fiery aspect of their falcon god. This side of Horus wasn't peaceful at all. It was warlike, destructive, and violent. In Aztec and Mesoamerican cultures, Mars was linked to their war gods. They literally tied Mars to movements into their ritual calendars, using it to decide when to wage war and when to conduct blood sacrifices. Human lives were taken in honor of these false gods, all tied back to the red planet. Do you see the theme? Mars has always been associated with blood, war, violence, destruction, and idolatry. And now the world wants to make it the place where life is discovered. The Bible warns us not to fall into that same trap. Deuteronomy 4:19, beware lest you raise your eyes to heaven, and when you see the sun and the moon and the stars, all the host of heaven, you be drawn away and bow down to them and serve them. Jeremiah 19:13, God condemns the people for burning offerings to the host of heaven, to the planets, to the stars, the moon. Romans 1:25, they exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshiped and served created things rather than the Creator, who is forever praised. This is exactly what's happening right now. Instead of worshiping the Creator, people are being set up to worship creation. Instead of looking for Jesus for salvation, they'll look to Mars, UFOs, and so-called ancient life for answers. The Bible tells us a great deception is coming. 2 Thessalonians 2:9-11 says, the man of lawlessness will come with all power and false signs and wonders to deceive those who are perishing. Matthew 24:24 says, false signs will be so convincing that if possible, even the elect could be deceived. Luke 21:25-26 says, there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and people will faint from fear seeing what's coming on the earth. Now think about that. What better setup for deception than this? Imagine the world being told we found proof of life beyond the earth. They'll say this changes everything. We're not alone. Humanity must unite under one government, one system to prepare for contact. This is how the deception will work. It plays on people's longing for meaning, their hunger for answers, and their willingness to believe signs in the heavens, but not God. And again, guys, notice the timing, September. Why September? Because September is definitely loaded with prophetic watch points. The Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of the Tabernacles. These are God's appointed times, and the enemy always tries to mirror or counterfeit what our God does. So when you see big announcements like this one coming out in September, that's not an accident. It's spiritual. This is why we can't take it lightly. The worship of Mars has always been tied to violence and bloodshed, and now the modern world is being primed to look to Mars for life, for answers, for meaning. It's the same lie dressed in new clothes. As believers, we need to understand that this isn't just about rocks and microbes. It's about idolatry. It's about deception. It's about preparing the world to worship creation rather than the Creator, and ultimately to accept the rule of the AC. So here's my call to you. Pay attention. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get distracted by so-called discoveries. Remember that the Bible warned us this would all happen. So stay grounded in the Word and keep your eyes on Jesus. And remember, when the world is crying out for answers from the stars, we already have the answer. His name is Jesus Christ.